All right, so we hit the 15,000 mile mark. It's time to do some fuel filters. So went to AutoZone today, hit a score, you know, and I looked on Amazon, and, you know, a lot of people have said that some of the Amazon filters are knockoffs for Motorcraft. That's up to you. Some of the plastic's thinner, you know, with Ford and the issues with the fuel filters. I just assume run Motorcraft. So I went to AutoZone today. I priced them at Ford. Of course, they were pretty expensive. I went to AutoZone, this part number right here. Scored both filters, the engine filter and the frame filter, for $76, $77, something like that, okay? What you're gonna need, if you're gonna do the bottom filter, don't do it with a full tank, do it with half or less. And, you know, drain the water off of the valve, but you're gonna have to break the seal and break the vacuum for it to stop leaking, because if you just open that valve, it's gonna continue to leak. Got an 8mm extension, 4-inch ratchet. You're gonna need a shallow bucket. Get under the truck. I have an S&B fuel tank, so mine's a little more enclosed. It's a little bit harder to get to. I'll show you what that looks like. But yeah, I'm fixing to crack the valve, drain the water, and then we're gonna break the seal on the bottom, get it open. But what's in this box here from AutoZone? You have your canister filter for up top for the engine. You have your gasket right here for the bottom canister. You've got a new connector piece here, a lock ring. And then your new cartridge filter. So let's get on here and get started on this. Okay, so yours is going to be a lot easier to get to. It's going to be right on the front of the tank. You know, like I said, if you've got the S&B, you know the tank's going to run a lot more forward. So we're going to go ahead and unplug this off the bottom. We're going to push it up around the side so we don't have to mess with it right now. Just going to keep it out of the way. Get the bucket here, put it under here. We're going to open our valve, drain off the water. Let that run for a second. And then I'm going to close that up. And then I'm going to bust the seal on the bottom of the filter housing. So I had a pretty continuous drain, and so what I did was I cracked all the bolts loose and just wiggled the bottom of this cup a little bit, and what that does is that lets the vacuum out so that it'll quit siphoning fuel, and then you'll actually get to the bottom of it. I've got a little less than half a tank, so, you know, if you've got a real low tank, it probably won't do that, but when you crack it, you can hear it's going to keep siphoning, and like I said, you just want to break that seal a little bit while it's draining, and then it'll let it drain off the residual. And we'll go ahead and drop this bottom out and see what this filter looks like. Okay, so once you pull the canister down, you'll notice there's a little seal up here on the top. And that's what it looks like. I'll flip it around. Filter doesn't look too bad on the surface, but you can see it's a little dark behind the screen. We'll pull that off in a little bit and let y'all see what that looks like behind it. We'll get the new one installed on here, get the tray put back up. Go from there. Okay, so you can see we got a little bit of metal in there, a little bit of gold flake. Not a lot. I'm going to clean the bottom of this reservoir up. Get the new filter in. Put the new gasket in. Okay, got the cartridge in, got the valve closed. Don't forget to hook up your water and fuel sensor. Got everything snugged up. We'll go up top, we'll change the filter on top side. Okay, so on top side right now, we're gonna get these lines disconnected, and we'll twist this one out and get the new filter ready to install. Okay, so you're gonna need a pick to work these. I generally took this one off first, then I took the back one off because you can push it out right here and kind of push these clips in. And then you want to get to the spring clips on the back of the center one and kind of pull those in while you pull this out. Be very careful not to break these clips. And once you get all these on, you want to try to pull them off and make sure that you made a good lock. And then once that's completed, we're going to go prime the truck. Okay, so the next step is the priming. What we're going to do is we're not going to push the brake pedal. We're going to cycle the key on. Hear the pump running. Starting to sound pretty solid. We're gonna do that again. I'm gonna turn the power off. Power the truck back on. And you can hear the fuel pump running. You can hear the air circulating out. Okay, pump turned off. Let's cycle it again. For me, what I'm looking for is a nice clear sound just with the pumps humming, not a bunch of that air coming back out. Pump cycled off. I'm going to do it one more time. I don't want any air in that CP4 at all. See, now I'm starting to hear just a little bit here and there. Pretty consistent, just pump hum. Cycled off. I think the magic number is like 6 times that you want to prime it. Because you don't want to start it and you don't want that air going to your CP4. That high pressure pump does not like to have air in it. As you can tell, we're not getting hardly any noise. I can hear the pump just faintly humming in the tank. I think this should be the final run. Nice. Okay, so this time we're going to do a startup. So we're up and running. Just want to check, make sure we don't have any leaks under here in our container. All right, so it took me about 30 minutes to change both fuel filters. You know, you can take it in and have it done. I've heard some people dropping off the dealership to get fuel filters done and it being anywhere from $400 to $700. Those filters cost me 72 bucks, cost me about 30 minutes of time. And I know that I did it the way it should be done. You know, I wanna make sure I get all the air out. That's the first thing. I wanna make sure I wash my hands before I get in my truck to prime it or to touch the steering wheel, because I do not want diesel anywhere in my vehicle, or the smell of diesel, because you know you're never gonna get that out. So for me, it's important to do my own. You know, if you wanna take it to the dealership, that's fine too. Wanted to do a thorough video to kind of show you how to do it. So if it helped you any, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe. Thanks again. We'll catch you on the next one.